Naruto's weakest classmates. In Naruto, there are several classmates who have studied together since the academy days. However, only a few characters managed to stay involved until the final stages of the story. There were quite a few of Naruto's peers who didn't get much of a chance to shine. In this article, we have compiled a list of 5 of Naruto's peers, whose fighting abilities are weaker than those of others. Note that the list of Naruto's peers is based on the members who took the Chunin exams in the same year as Naruto. We would appreciate your understanding in advance. Number 5. Nara Shikamaru. Shikamaru is also a character with an excellent IQ of over 200 and is skilled in military tactics. His signature technique is the shadow imitation technique. Shikamaru can connect his shadow to an enemy's shadow, making them perform the same movements as himself. It's a versatile technique, but strong ninja can break free from it on their own. Therefore, when fighting alone, it's a technique that requires strategic preparation. Shikamaru was the first among Naruto's peers to become a Chunin. This was due to the strategic nature of the Chunin exams. During the Sasuke retrieval mission, there were complaints from his peers Kiba, Naruto, and Neji. However, in the end, everyone recognized Shikamaru as the team leader. The reason for that is, the tactics they were able to explain immediately for dealing with attacks were based on an understanding of the members' abilities and techniques. Shikamaru led the squad, moved the team, and demonstrated his ability with his best strategic skills, such as playing with the enemy with the shadow imitation technique using coordination. Although Shikamaru excels at such intelligent battles and team play, there are 2 battles in the work where it is clear that he is not good at one-on-one battles. The first is the battle with Tayuya in the Sasuke retrieval arc. In the first battle, Shikamaru almost caught up to Tayuya in a desperate attempt. But in the end, he was defeated by Tamari's help. When Tamari used the Great Prickly Ash technique in that battle, Shikamaru said, "Unlike me, you have a good jutsu." This shows that Shikamaru himself is aware that his jutsu is not suited for single combat. Second, the battle with Haiden from Akatsuki Group. As a result, he used the blood of Kakuto, which he had prepared in advance, to catch Haiden off guard and lead him to victory. However, since the attack was made with a detonation tag, and as a result of careful preparation, it is thought that he does not have any jutsu that can directly inflict damage. Therefore, in a spur-of-the-moment personal battle, he is unable to display his true strength, and in terms of pure fighting ability, he is probably one of the lower-ranked players among his peers. Number 4. Inuzuka Kiba. In 4th place is Kiba Inuzuka. He is Naruto's classmate who uses a special ninjutsu to merge with Akamaru and unleash his techniques, mistakenly believing that he can become a Hokage. In the Chunin Hen, he was at the mercy of Naruto's change techniques, and was finally defeated by the Uzumaki Naruto Runbun. In the battle against Sakan/Yukon, he used Garuga and steadily drove his foe back. However, he was hit by a parasitic attack from Sakan/Yukon, and in order to stop it, he stabbed a kunai into his own body and attempted to commit suicide. Splendidly, the parasitic attack was stopped. But at that point he thought he had no chance of winning and tried to escape. However, they eventually caught up with him, and just before he was about to be defeated, Kankuro came to rescue him from a death. However, Kiba is not all bad. He has excellent search skills and helped find Sasuke, who attacked the Gakage meeting. Well, to say the least, that's about all he did. After that, he did not appear again until the Ninja World War. During the Great War of the Shinobi Realm, he is described as using a shadow division technique to knock down a 10-tailed split body. However, since it is a technique that combines 3 jutsu, its usability is subtle. It takes time to activate, and it can only be used by an ally who can create an opening, or by a lower-ranked enemy who can create an opening. Since many of the techniques cannot be used without Akamaru and ninjutsu take longer than other ninjutsu, he may be one of the weaker ninjutsu in the same period. Number 3. Hinata Hyuga. In 3rd place is Hinata Hyuga, a user of the Byakuganai technique and the gentle fist fighting style derived from it. Well, there is no clear answer because of the lack of pure battle descriptions, but he is definitely one of the weaker ones among his peers. The scene that reveals this is during the Chunin exam arc when he fights his cousin Niji, who is also a Byakugan user. He was so battered that he couldn't gather chakra, and the Jonin had to step in to stop the fight. Since Niji is called the genius since the beginning of the Hinata family, it cannot be helped to some extent. In the Pain version, he saved Naruto's life, but he was mortally wounded by Pain's Shinra Tensei. In the fight against the Ten Tails alter ego, the only clear indication that he is strong is that he first succeeded in using the Bagua 64 palm in memory of Niji and Naruto, who had died. Even in a normal fight, he would lose to Shikamaru. But since he has a point-blank hole and Byakugan user, I thought it might be Hinata who would win in a spur-of-the-moment one-on-one fight. But I still thought it would be impossible. But since she married Naruto, she is probably the best winner among his peers. Second place, Tenten. Second place goes to Tenten. Although she is one rank above Naruto, she is included here because she is a member of the Chunin examinations. Tenten can use Kuchiyos no Jutsu, Kafuken no Jutsu, and Injutsu, but her battle descriptions are rather limited. In the fight with Temari in the Chunin examination chapter, there are only numerous weapons scattered on the floor, and the sight of Tenten spitting blood from her mouth and fainting. Niji Hinata, who was watching the match at this time, said, "I never thought I would be able to complete Tenten's weapon attack." This indicates that Temari won by a convincing victory. In the first place, even if she had thrown her weapon, Temari's Kamaitachi would have blocked it all, so this result was no surprise. Later on, Tenten, who accompanied Niji Hyuga during his training, lamented, "Not even a scratch on him." However, there are limits to just using weapons. And she isn't a character who can defeat strong opponents. In the Ninja World War, 2 of the Rikudo ninja tools spewed out by Madara fell into Tenten's hands. But she was unable to use them to seal Madara, and he easily fell prey to Mugen no Tsukuyomi. Thus, Tenten, who came in second place, is a character with little activity and few appearances in the second part of the series. Even in the third group, she is considered to be a support type from the rear of Hinata Niji and Rock Lee. Primarily a mid-range fighter who throws kunai. She wasn't shown defeating enemies single-handedly during the Fourth Great Ninja War. Perhaps Kishimoto-sensei did not think much of setting up the character. But Tenten is not portrayed as strong at all. For this reason, she is considered to be one of the weaker of his peers. Number 1, Ino Yamanaka. The first place goes to Ino Yamanaka. Ino is a sensing type, and uses the techniques of Mind Transfer Technique and Kanchi Denden. The Mind Transmutation Technique is a technique to enter the mind and take over the body and manipulate it. The first time it was used was in the Chunin examination, when she was cheating on the exam. There are 2 weaknesses of this mind transfer technique. The first is that when the body is taken over, Ino's body becomes a shell, leaving her defenseless. The second is that the duration of the effect is short for those with strong mental powers. Ino uses a secret jutsu that has been handed down in the Yamanaka family, which is a little unusual, but it is useful in team fights. In the Ninja World War, there is a scene where the Golden Pavilion is sealed, and the Ino Shikacho team, including Ino, plays an active role. The Golden Pavilion, angered by the sealing of the Silver Pavilion, puts on the robe of the 9 tails and begins to rampage. But there, with Choji's neat chariot, he stopped them from moving. And with Shikamaru's shadow imitation technique, he stopped them from moving. Finally, with Ino's jutsu of mind transformation, she manipulated Kinkaku to reply and sealed him in an amber purification bottle. In this way, it is quite useful in the coordination of a skilled team. And sensing transmission is the technique of sensing chakra and communicating it to the other party. This is a secret technique for communicating information. It was quite useful in the Ninja World War. Thus, Ino, being a sensing type, is not a fighter, but almost a complete supporter. In addition, when entering an opponent's mind with the mind transfer technique, Ino's body becomes defenseless, so she is not suited for individual battles. Therefore, in terms of pure fighting ability, she is the weakest candidate among Naruto's peers. Conclusion. In this article, we have summarized 5 of Naruto's peers with low combat ability. In terms of combat ability alone, we feel that the Inoshikacho, which is a team player, is slightly weaker. As for Choji, he is a combatant among them, so his strength is exceptional. This ranking was very subjective, but I am sure the answer will vary from person to person. Which character do you think is weaker than the others among Naruto's peers? I would be very happy if you could comment. On this channel, I provide commentary and discussion on Naruto and Boruto. I would be happy if you could subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching until the end.